Hey, this is Chris for JamPlay.com.
Hi, I'm Nick Kelly.
Hi, I'm Steve Yulberg for JamPlay. I've been teaching here for a long time.
And you guys just got a sneak peek at a brand new lesson series coming to JamPlay called Chords, Capos, and Simple Melodies. And this series was inspired by Zager guitars. We're using 4 of them in the series.
So I'm playing a ZAD 80CE/N, and it's got nice intonation up the neck.
This guitar has a lot of different kinds of wood on here. We have a Western red cedar top. The back and sides are Indian rosewood. The neck is mahogany. The headstock is Indian rosewood.
It's got a real bright kind of sound, and it's really full in the mids.
And you know, it's just a beautiful guitar. It has a really kind of sweet sound to it, and nice and focused sound.
And me being mainly an electric guitar player, I have a little bit weaker of a hand than someone who spends more time, or most of his time, on an acoustic guitar.
Neck feels pretty good. It's a little thicker right in here than I prefer, but you can still get your thumb hooked around to play, and that's nice.
But you know, if you were to compare this to a Martin or a Taylor guitar, you really get a lot of bang for your buck here. And you know, I think an equivalent Martin or Taylor would be considerably more expensive.
Now this style is a Zager SSMHGY. It's a smaller power kind of style guitar, joining at the 12th fret, so everything's smaller, the body's smaller. Still feels very well made. You expect the expensive ones to top end of the line to play good, or you're not going to have any interest in them, but this still has some of those same features. It's in tune when I play up here, which a lot of times the things that people short on when they're trying to make a more inexpensive guitar is the action isn't quite as good up here. It requires a whole bunch of setup, and you have tuners that won't hold in tune. I don't have experience with knowing how well the tuners do over the long haul, but this one's got good intonation. And it's because it's got a smaller body, it would also fit smaller size students, whether you be a teenager or a smaller arm length or finger length person. When the neck is shorter, then your fingers can get in there better. It's got a very lively sound. Sometimes smaller guitars just don't have much tone at all, but this one's very pleasing. I think you could do well with this.
Here we have a beautiful, beautiful Dreadnought guitar by Zager.
This is the model ZAD 900, and you know, it's pretty and everything. Has a nice radius fretboard, and I like how that feels when I'm playing bar chords.
In terms of the woods, we have a grade A solid Sitka spruce top. The back and sides are Indian rosewood. The neck is mahogany. We have an Indian rosewood headstock. The bracework is all hand scalloped. This one
Has real nice action all the way up and down. It's nicely proportioned that way. I don't hear any buzzing in the low strings, but I can feel without pushing out of tune everything up high. I like that.
This is just one of the nicest acoustic guitars I've ever played.
Well, this is a Zager ZAD 20E/VS.
First of all, this has mahogany sides, a mahogany back, mahogany neck and headstock, and a Sitka spruce top.
Joining the body at the 14th fret like a standard Dreadnought does. Not as flashy design-wise, which is sometimes what people mistake for quality. Fancy stuff doesn't necessarily make for a good guitar, but this one has a nice feel. I really like their radius fretboard. It fits into your hands for bar chords. I can easily get my hand around the neck to get my thumb playing back here when I want to play those kind of chords. I like the intonation up here.
It comes in a hard case, and it has a built-in humidifier in the hard case, which actually tells you, dehumidifier I should say, which actually tells you where, you know, what level of humidity is in the case, and it's just really pretty remarkable.
This has got a nice balanced tone too. It's not quite as bright, but it doesn't have anything that just, sometimes I'll get a guitar that has a tone and it just pokes your eye out. It doesn't have that. This one doesn't hurt me at all. Good job.
You guys just got a sneak peek at a brand new lesson series coming to JamPlay called Chords, Capos, and Simple Melodies. And this series was inspired by Zager guitars. We're using 4 of them in the series. These lessons are aimed at acoustic guitar players who have a good grasp of their basic chords and have done some single-picked lines, but want more experience playing with actual music. And so we outline a bunch of different chord positions and give you a chance to figure out some different melodies, practice your picking, all to real music. During the filming and production of this lesson series, I had the opportunity to use 4 different Zager guitars, and I was really impressed. In addition to the work I've done here at JamPlay, I had the opportunity to take a couple of them to my church and play for a whole weekend doing songs there. And to be honest, when I first heard about the easy play thing, I was pretty skeptical because I thought, you know, it's probably just a gimmick, or how much difference can it really make? And me being mainly an electric guitar player, I have a little bit weaker of a hand than someone who spends more time, or most of his time, on an acoustic guitar. And on my personal acoustic, I find that when I play for an entire weekend at church, my hand does get tired when I'm on the acoustic, even just holding bar chords and stuff like that, because acoustics just aren't that easy to play. These things, I had an opportunity to use 2 of them in the church setting, and my hand really didn't get tired all weekend. You know, we had 2-hour practice, and then we had 3 services to play through, and I really felt more like my wrist felt more like I was playing an electric guitar. The way that these guitars are designed with the neck radius, the string height, and just the feel of the fretboard makes playing easier. And it doesn't really sacrifice the overall sound. As you can hear in the tracks, I've found over the course of using these guitars, over the entire Zager line, there's something for everybody. What's really impressive to me is when you look at the price tags of higher dollar guitars, you expect them to sound and play well. You expect the action to be good, you expect a good projection out of the instrument. A lot of cheaper guitars that you buy tend to sound trapped, and even the less expensive Zager guitars that I played recently project well. They feel and sound like more expensive guitars. All of these guitars, even the lower dollar ones, have a very distinct and full sound. They mic up well. The pickups are good quality. A couple of these have built-in tuners, easy access to the battery. So they're a joy to use in a live setting, and they were a joy to use in a studio setting. So if you get a chance, go check out the Zager guitars.